Hello, welcome to cEDH Budget Brews. I'm Tim. Tonight I'm joined by Josh, and shirtless Sean showed up. Loving Jitte as always. As you can see right there. Looking at it so lovingly. I'll show you the picture afterwards, Josh. You'll freaking die.
I got to see it on the...
Okay, did you? So we're going over some of the questions from the Ask a Spike Q&A. And the question we chose for this segment is, what is the dominant deck in the format right now and why? Who would like to go first? I think you want first. You want me to go first, don't you, Josh?
I actually do want you to go first.
All right.
I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, so here's my thought. The obvious one would say some type of Timnacron Breach deck. I do agree that is probably in a vacuum the most optimized card pool currently. It's got all the pushed cards. But for me, the deck that, even though that is the deck to beat probably, what deck will dominate is very dependent upon a meta at which it's being played in. So under certain circumstances, technically any deck can be the dominant deck. I mean, if you're playing a deck that's packing 8 null rods, and you're playing in a meta that's all artifacts, you're probably gonna be the deck to beat.
I was actually as you were talking, the thought randomly came to mind that if you're sitting down at a table, just 4 players randomly pick decks, and you're kind of trying to decide your threat assessment and who the dominant deck is at your table. I don't want to sound mean, but you might just want to focus whoever's going first.
Maybe.
Ooh. We know that this is a format where going first has a huge advantage.
It does have a huge advantage.
Puts you ahead. And
so I disagree.
Go ahead.
So I know there's data by the Squirrel Mob and all that Data Reaper. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the proper name for it right now, but that first has a very strong advantage. But I don't know if it has to do with a pilot but I think the sweet spot for multiplayer, 4-player pods, I want to say is between 3rd and 4th. Now hear me out. Hear me out on why that might be a hot take. In the meta of Darkside, the first person to play a Darkside never gets the mana. The person who plays the Darkside last gets all the mana, or forces the person to crack their treasures. And then if you don't crack your treasures, you're now the greedy player. I believe that I like going 3rd or 4th. If you're a turbo deck, which I believe a lot of the meta is, then going first has its advantages, because you get to drop your rock, you get to untap first with all that mana. But if you're playing in a competent pod, that normally doesn't always work. My hot take on that.
I agree with that. I think that's a good take. You have to step back and look at every deck. You have to look at the tools that the deck has, where it's at the table, and then also what it's playing against.
Exactly. Yeah. Niv Mizzet for me, I don't think I would ever want to go first playing Niv. And this is Niv Mizzet Peru. I don't.
It was
Do you know why I don't want to go play first, going Niv? Because you're going to land Niv first, and then Niv is going to be the first to die. But if I can land Niv on an established board state, then Niv won't be the first. He will always be the first to die. But there's going to be some politics that you can say, Crom over here, you need me to deal with Timna, whatever. Whatever how you play your game. But
right.
That's my take.
Sandbag that brainstorm.
Yeah.
Kill that Yorn.
Ooh, okay. That might be a hot take, but yeah.
I did. Wasn't it Yorn, the Boros guy?
I did not watch your MC.
No, Yorn's the Sultai.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of whoever the Boros guy was in my MLC game. I was just cracking a joke. But I mean, just to kind of get back to my with like in a vacuum, probably sure. Blue Farm or some type of like Turbo Nos deck is the deck to beat right now. But a lot of it is very, very like pod composition dependent. Can you effectively attack a meta? Are you skilled enough to attack a meta? Because to be honest, like if you get 4 Turbo Nos decks in a pod, like it definitely turns into like some Wile E. Coyote, Wild West shootout, like wheels and feeding fishes and dock size and just like burr. And while that takes a lot of skill, and there definitely are a lot of competent pilots and a lot of skilled pilots. I mean, when you wheel, you don't know what you're drawing. Like you can't just like magically get the nuts off of it. Like there's a lot of randomness involved. So
wheels are bad.
They're not bad.
Wheels are bad.
Jitte is good, Sean. Jitte is good.
What do you think, John? Do you think there's a strong limit?
Do I think? Are you asking me if I think wheels are bad?
No, I'm asking. Yeah, sure. Are wheels bad?
I don't think wheels are bad.
Oh, let's make a survey. When last have you played a wheel in a mid-game, and you get a turn? If you say wheel pass, do you normally get a turn back?
I very rarely do wheel pass or without some kind of. I'm a Croxa player, remember? So if I wheel, there's like a chains in play,
Sure.
or a waist knot, and I don't think I lose if I resolve a wheel.
Okay, fair enough. You don't lose. That is fair. The Croxa player normally doesn't lose in that position. But
right.
Say you don't have a waist knot in play and you do wheel. Seems bad though. Without
wheeling. Oh yeah, because if you're doing the value wheel into just passing, and if you wheeled someone to a dockside extortionist, the game's probably
yeah.
Or process Orca console. I've seen that so many times. Or just wheel into the nuts with silence and packet negation. Yeah, this guy over here consistently. Like you just did a shuffle, but
no, it wasn't in my hand. Just got it.
That's why I think Wheel of Misfortune was such a healthy card to play.
I do like Wheel of Misfortune.
It was very healthy. I do agree. Healthy in a very sarcasm, terrible way.
I don't know.
Draw 7 cards. Nobody else does. No.
Yeah, it seems great.
Seems pretty good.
Ikra Crom. I'm gonna play 87 life. Oh, well, I mean, as long as nobody's like, as long as the other 3 players don't all bid 0, they're gonna draw 7 cards. Somebody is. All right.
But so for me, I don't think there's a dominant deck, and that's it.
You don't think there is a dominant deck? Is that what you said? I'm sorry.
There's not. Oh. There's not a dominant deck.
No, I just think there's a lot of decks that play favorably in certain metas and under certain circumstances, personally.
So, like, well, I think when it's like the word dominant deck is when like Sushi Hulk was the same. If you were playing that deck, you're losing, right? And then you will be the hippie who like, I don't want to play Sushi. Or, I don't want to play Flash Hulk because it's boring. But no, it was the best deck to play. And that's a dominant deck. What we're in now is just a rotation of things. If I play Andnos X, then someone want to play Widow the Stacks. And then the person who plays Widow the Stacks is going to say, I want to play mid-range and board wipes. And that's the cycle. But I do takes.
That is a take. Any projects you want to plug? Where can people play with you? How can they reach you?
So like I said, the cEDH scene on Twitter seems to be somewhat lively. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you're welcome to do that. You can have me on Facebook too, Josh Wheeler, but I don't know, I might hesitate to accept friend requests from people I don't know, or if you're not already friends with like Timmy or someone else in the world. But honestly, if you want to play games with me, you can ping me just about everywhere. I can guarantee we share a server. Like the MTG Marketplace is my big focus right now.
All right, there you go.
All right.
If you want to sell cards, guys, on Discord, go to the MTG Marketplace.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks. It was
Bye.